Welcome back, guys, to another video. Let's talk about Tesla. We have a lot of new stuff coming in, especially some things from the Toyota president, and it looks kind of weird. We also have some major updates about the production of the Shanghai Gigafactory 2. On top of that, some brand new audio software they could be using Bose, and some major software updates that will be coming in around Q1 of 2021, like January, February. So at this current moment, the Toyota president actually made a case in the world of EVs, stating that EVs were overhyped. Now, I don't really think this is the case. I mean, sure, if you look at the stock price and the market share of a bunch of electric vehicle stocks, I mean, they're a little bit too crazy. But recently, a lot of EV stocks are stabilizing and not really doing so much. I don't really think EVs are overhyped. I think people are just really enthusiastic that we're finally having a major shift from fossil fuel vehicles to EVs, which are cheaper to maintain. You don't have to do your oil change. It's super simple. You don't really need like a big bulky combustion engine, which of course over the course of several miles and several years, you go into a lot of problems. So people are kind of happy with EVs. The people who drive EVs say that they will never go back to a fossil fuel car. Charging is super cheap. It's way cheaper than filling your whole entire tank into gas. And on top of that, you do have the Toyota president suggesting that if all the cars in Japan would transition to EVs, it will worsen the carbon dioxide in Japan, and saying that the country's electricity cannot keep up with this many electric vehicles. Now, Toyota has also calculated that Japan will spend roughly $350 billion to build the infrastructure for this whole entire electric vehicle fleet. Now, that was reported by the Wall Street Journal. And second, the country does not have enough energy for any of this. And the funny thing is, the Toyota CEO has said multiple times that Tesla is overvalued, it's overhyped, and he even had this weird kitchen analogy where he says that Toyota has numerous different cars, whereas Tesla only has a few, and Tesla's market cap is unjustified. It shouldn't be that high. Toyota sells like the most vehicles in a single year. Tesla barely sells any. And he's just simply compared car sales and saying that Tesla is way overvalued without adding the fact that Tesla has a ton of software. They're a battery manufacturer, and once again, he even admits that Tesla has probably a really good energy department, because he also says that a situation like this where countries run out of electricity can be solved by the Tesla energy department, like those types of companies. So it's kind of funny, and keep in mind that Elon Musk predicts how much the transition in EVs will be affecting electricity. So he's also improving other areas, whereas other car manufacturers like Mercedes, Volkswagen, I love those companies. They make some pretty great electric vehicles. I've seen the concepts and some of the vehicles that they will be announcing in the next couple years, but none of them are addressing battery cell production, which only Tesla is doing, and none of them is really talking about how to provide all this electricity for this many vehicles. So Tesla is actually super ahead, even making another branch in their department, Tesla Energy. They're working on battery energy storage systems that could definitely answer this type of problem. And you also have Tesla's energy department starting its utility service in several different countries, including the United Kingdom, Germany, Australia, which are thinking about making like a second utility service provider station, and even possibly Israel. So Tesla Energy also established a power pack installation, which also supports the Osaka's train system, and that's pretty awesome. That's in Japan, by the way. So we should be seeing some pretty big transitions to EVs, but I feel like what Toyota recently has been saying is a little bit wacky. Now, Toyota is coming out with their own electric vehicle in Europe, maybe in the next year or two. At this current moment, they're not really super serious about EVs. They have been king in the world of hybrids. And you know, when you're like really good at one thing, you simply don't want to change. They make some really good fossil fuel cars. But let's be honest here, everyone is transitioning to electric. I mean, NIO's market cap is enormous. I could put NIO up there with BMW and Volkswagen when they only sell a fraction of the number of cars because they're electric and they're super techy. So I don't know what Toyota is doing, but recently they are saying some really weird stuff about the world of EVs and also electric, saying how they're overhyped, how Tesla's market cap is overvalued. It's kind of a mess in my opinion, but let's not talk about that anymore. So second is, let's talk about Elon Musk and also the Shanghai Gigafactory 2, because at this current moment we know that Musk wants to be reaching at least 500,000 deliveries at the end of 2020, which will be extremely difficult. But for 2021, it's going to be double that. Now, the projections of Tesla vehicle sales will reach possibly 1 million next year, and 550,000 of these vehicles will be from the Shanghai Gigafactory because that's where the majority of the cars are produced. This is why Tesla is super serious and even creating a supercharger V3 factory in China. Like, they don't even have that domestically. They literally made another factory that only makes superchargers because of the amount of customers in China that are buying the Tesla vehicles. And they know they can't have enough charging stations. People will probably not want to buy their cars anymore because other brands like NIO and XPeng have phenomenal customer service and a ton of charging stations and even battery swapping stations. On top of that, we should be seeing roughly 550,000 vehicles being produced from the Shanghai Gigafactory alone next year. 100,000 of these vehicles will be shipped to Europe since the Berlin Gigafactory will not be operational anytime soon. So we should be seeing some major improvements in the Shanghai Gigafactory, and there's also several pictures and also a lot of news articles about how the Model Y was spotted at the Gigafactory Shanghai test track because now production is slowly ramping up. Several weeks ago, there were literally only 3 Model Ys parked outside, and now there's like 40, 50, 70 Model Ys parked outside. So there's more and more people started noticing this. We should be seeing first deliveries out to consumers, possibly Q1, Q2, but the true ramping up production will be around January or February of 2021. So definitely stay tuned. This is also very bullish news. Should definitely see the price of the stock soaring. Last but not least, let's talk about some of the software updates that's coming out. You also do have the Tesla audio software partner. They're collaborating with Bose for a better noise controlled tech in the cabinet. Could be some sort of like a refresher for like the newer vehicles like the 2021 Model 3 or the 2021 Model S. You also will be seeing the major software release of the FSD beta. At this current moment, the full self-driving beta software is only available for a select number of Tesla consumers. Tesla rolled it out for just a few people. They're like, hey, try it out. And then I started watching a bunch of videos on Twitter where a ton of these full self-driving beta Teslas were driving by themselves in the middle of cities. Like, you used to see Teslas do that in highways, but now they could do that in the middle of cities. And it's pretty phenomenal. I haven't really seen any accidents. The closest thing I've seen was like a Tesla on autopilot almost hitting another car that was parked in a really weird angled road. But other than that, like, everything was pretty fine. And they're rolling out updates every 5 or 10 days. If you're a Tesla owner and you bought like the $10,000 full self-driving beta software and you still haven't received it, well, they will be announcing it and releasing it maybe late December at the earliest, but most likely January of 2021 and February at the very latest. So definitely fingers crossed. Hopefully they could announce it by the end of this month because that will be pretty nice. Best Christmas present ever. But of course, a full self-driving beta is pretty incredible. I've never really seen anything like this. At this current moment, only Teslas have the ability to drive hands-free in the middle of cities. Thanks for watching, guys, and comment below.